when you think back to these meltdowns, you know, the last one in 2016, you had them screaming, you know, the woman, the screaming woman. This is that one for this election, right? It is. Oh, here it is. Check this out. No, 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 no. Why? Yeah, she wasn't too happy, right? And here's the thing, they've just been fed this, like, disinformation for years and years and years. I was watching, who was it? GB News or Talk. I think it was GB News, right? You always have the left-wing commentator on. And, you know, she's like, you know, why did America choose somebody who tried to overthrow the last election, right? It's such a revisionist history. It doesn't matter now, right? But it's such a revisionist history, right? Here's what happened, right? They say there was no evidence of electoral fraud. There was a tsunami of evidence. There was a plethora of evidence of electoral fraud. There was no proof. There was no proof whatsoever, and because there was no investigation. The evidence should have sparked an investigation, but no court would see it. Right, it was everything was dismissed on standing. So, like, all this evidence wasn't presented anywhere. That's what happened, and there was a lot of weird stuff that went down. Now, I don't know who won or who didn't. Now I see they've weirdly lost 15 million votes. Right, I think they stuffed the ballot with 16 million votes, 15 million votes. Right, genuinely, I think that's what happened with Biden. But everyone's going, wait a minute, how did they get 15 million more votes in 2020? I mean, you could say because they did the mail-in mail-in what's it called, ballots, all right? And yeah, normal universal mail-in. What's it called again? Mail-in something or other. Anyway, and they just said everything's bad and they blamed everything on Trump and everybody. I mean, it could be. Look, Biden, for all I know, could have legitimately won, right? My prejudice is that he didn't, but it could have done. I'm not going to discount it, but the trouble is, we would never know, right? And they just they created this fact, and you have to start saying, no, that's not what happened, right? That is not what happened. I know you want to think that's what happened, but that's not what happened. And then January 6th, what you want to tell me that was it, an insurrection? Comparing that to, what, May 29th, when the president had to go to a bunker, right? Or the Black Lives Matter riots, which were far more destructive, right? And there's all the FBI involved in it, who is Ray Epps. I mean, I really, really, really hope that one of the first things he does is release the J6s. I think that's going to be fantastic, right? And do a real January 6th investigation. And honestly, if there's compensation to be paid, I think they're all going to be owed compensation, right? Because they were political prisoners. You should fine the J6 committee. They should personally, like Nancy Pelosi, should have to personally pay, what, 30, 50, 100 million, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be justice? And all of them, they're all millionaires, right? How much is Liz? Let's go Liz Cheney's Liz Cheney's net worth. What's that? 147 million. Verify. Am I human? Only barely. Liz Cheney net worth is it's only 14 million. That's well low. Still, we'll take 13.5 of that off you, darling. Don't worry. Right? I think they should all have to personally pay to have, and maybe the judges, the corrupt judges as well. Right? I think they should all have to personally pay. Right? I don't think that's going to happen, but boy, would I love that to happen. But again, there's just been this relentless insanity for years and years and years, and so which has resulted in this. I mean, and it's also very performative, right? It's all about people, like, it's all about vain, predominantly white women being seen, right? There's so many of these videos. Oh, actually, there's one I just saw which is really disturbing. I'm going to show you in a second. White woman meltdown. Okay, there's enough of those to go around.
Woman in Australia, and you think the US election doesn't affect us, just know they now have permission to be outwardly sexist and support a rapist. Just know that.
Okay, and like that, you think he's a rapist and you're convinced that's a fact means you're bonkers, right? No, I know you think he is, right? And it's because look, all this is doing is convincing me that women shouldn't be able to vote. Now, I don't think it's really fair for the women who are not crazy like you, right? But how do you tell the difference? I don't know. Maybe if you're crying at the Trump winning an election, saying it's anti-democratic.
Your heart, no. But they now have permission. They now think they are the majority, and they're so...
They do. We do have the majority. That's the point. We do have the majority.
Educated that they think that because they're the majority, they are right.
We're the majority in every way. We got the Electoral College. And wait, that's exactly what you say. You say, wait a minute, everybody believes women have penises. Everybody, oh, you're a weirdo. That's exactly what's, again, projection. Is that a hamsa, a Jewish thing she's wearing around her neck? Probably is. Oh, my God. Oh, if I could come up with a new medication called Silly Cunt Away, I would prescribe her some. Take 2 Silly Cunt Away and you'll get that Silly Cunt Away.
They now have permission to be racist, transphobic.
Okay, why do you think Trump's racist? And you think everybody's transphobic who think that women don't have penises, which is everybody. Okay, here's the clue, right? It's like you probably know very well. Nobody believes women have penises. No one. A lot of people pretend they do. They're mainly in the Western world. They're mainly women like you. Now, if you really, really do believe women have penises, then good for you, right? But that's your bonkers belief.
Permission to laugh about our reproductive health and our reproductive freedoms.
Okay, when you say reproductive health, I want to kill babies. Now, again, why are you acting like there's an abortion ban? But they are, aren't they? They're like, it's like, why? And the weird thing is, when it never happens, they'll never go, I was wrong.
Australia follows suit when it comes to America. The amount of abuse...
No, Australia's way woker than America. I'm sorry.
I've copped online, even in the past 12 hours, from men saying the most horrifically sexist things, thinking that it's funny.
Oh, wait. Let me get it straight. Were you posting on social media about how awful this is and people were taking the piss out of you? Is that what was happening? That's what was happening, wasn't it, darling? Right? But it's all about, entitlement and being seen.
This is what Andrew Tate has laid the pathway for. This is what people like Joe Rogan do.
That you put Joe Rogan and Andrew Tate together is insane. And the reason people go to Andrew Tate and Joe Rogan is because of you. Because you're an irritating harpy. That's like, you're an irritating, judgmental harpy who's a cunt. And you're not fun to be around. Now, that's not, sexist abuse. That's my, I think, reasonable opinion based on this video that you're an irritating harpy cunt. Oh, and a moron, right? An entitled moron who I wouldn't want to be around. Yeah, maybe try not being an irritating, entitled cunt moron that nobody wants to be around, and then they won't treat you like an irritating cunt moron that nobody wants to be around. I don't know. That's my advice to you as a rabbi.
They are now allowed to say the quiet part out loud, and we're going to cop it.
You're like, cop what? Like what? What? I did what? What's going to happen? Oh, what's going to happen? This one was taking definite action. 1 second.
I think that if all of these men are voting to take our rights away, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you thought that through, you guys.
All right, well, I'm I'm glad you got your little smug face on, 16-year-old. Firstly, you shouldn't really be sexually active at your age. Secondly, really, in fact, before you put out, you should make them put a ring on it, darling, and not their cock, right? And thirdly, there's a flaw in your cunning plan. Are all other women on board with this, right? Because I reckon my wife doesn't have that memo yet, so I'm doing good, honey. yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Now this is just here. One second. Before I get to this one, I haven't actually come up with like the typical woman crying into a TikTok video for for views, essentially, for valid. Oh god, we got that to watch. So, 1 second. Look, I think Tim Paul posted a bunch. Let's have a look. 1 second, Dwight. Bunch or one. No, that's the one I want to show. That's the most insane one. So yeah, here's yet another. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. There's a gazillion of these. Fine. Let me just download these ones. Excuse me while I whip this out. But yeah, look, this is a mental health crisis, right? Crazy woman. Okay, 1,272,000, and then we'll do crazy woman 1,273,000. These people again. But you know what? You know what's really make them crazy? It's because because he's won the popular vote. I mean, that was really the thing they always clung on to. Well, nobody really wants him. It's a minority. Well, now it's not. So now what? What do they want to do? They want to abolish the popular vote? I wouldn't be surprised, right? I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. That's the AOC. And them all saying, oh, we will fight on. No, you won't. No, you won't, you cucks. No, there's nothing to fight on. You've lost. It's over. It's done, right? It is generally here. Let me type in Meltdown. I don't have a woman sobbing into camera. And they were unlimited on my... oh, there you go. Here's a good one. Compilation. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Doink. And I haven't seen this yet. I'm going to guess these are all white women, right? Meltdown comp. Doink. Let's go. Oh, how are you so cruel? I quite enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right? We all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
Have they taken? Has she taken an overdose? But even the dog's saying, "Chill out, darling. Chill out. It's okay."
All the enjoyment.
Well, look, she's filmed herself getting emotional support from her dog. This is all performative. My boyfriend in the living room watching the results while I'm crying in the bathroom. Oh no!
All the enjoyment.
Like, what do you think is actually going to happen to your life? Because if you live somewhere if you lived in a state where they didn't allow abortions, and I don't know that, but I think they allow abortions for medical needs. But again, I don't know. But if you live there, you would know that, right? And you would probably be of the mindset that didn't want to have abortions, So
I'm done.
He's done, I think. But is it he or she? But they're done.
Done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
No, freak out. Kala, please do your thing.
Not gonna happen. Republican Kevin
Go, Kamala.
will be returning to the Senate from North Dakota. ABC News can also project a winner in the Senate race.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't.
They're all white women. Look at this. Affluent white, was it? Affluent white female liberals. They're all the awful.
We don't have to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, like, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, recount the vote.
Guys, I just voted. And
it wasn't even close, darling. It wasn't even, if we recount, we'll probably just get more. He won the popular vote by about 5 million right now.
I chose family. Let's end this reign of terror now. I chose family.
What's the reign of terror? Like, they're genuinely. And again, will they ever admit nothing happened? No.
Those women. I chose America. I love you. We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on. I love all of this. Let's do it.
He edited this, right? For goodness sake, this is all for self-aggrandizement.
Let's do this.
You're a cuck. If you're crying, fuck me, you're a cuck. Somebody fingering your arsehole from behind.
It's like an angel sighing. I am no choice. I hear your voice.
They were awful. And like, how could anybody think they like nobody? I mean, nobody thought it was going to be a walk in the park. But yeah, no, it was a disaster.
We were wrong.
Yeah. But here's the weird thing. They're not saying they were wrong. The response there is everybody else was wrong. We just don't understand.
It's an utter betrayal for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian. If you voted
I'm Jewish.
for that man, if
I didn't, but I really would have done. I would advocate it.
If you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote,
it wasn't close in any state. In fact, here's a weird thing. Weird coinky dinks. The state she won? It's only the states where they don't insist on voter ID. They're the only state she won. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, I wonder if that's good coinky dinks.
Fuck you.
It's okay, darling. Yeah, I'm cool. Anyway, you're at your friend earlier. She said you're not allowed to fuck anyone. Remember?
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies.
Oh, it's going to get so good, baby. It's going to get so good. It's going to be a golden land of peace and prosperity, opportunity and adventure. That's what.
Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable in the slightest. Darling, by the time he ends his term, they'll be getting ready to set up a colony on Mars, okay? By the time Vance ends his first term, there will be a colony on Mars. Life is about to get supercharged, and it's going to get awesome, right? Looking at the wrong bit. Hang on. Now I totally... oh, there you go. I lost my sidebar. That was really bizarre. Anyway, what was it? Let's have a quick look over here. Can we even go and do the View? No, let's do Jimmy Kimmel.
It was a terrible night last night. It was a
fantastic night for most people because the majority won, right? We're no longer a silent minority, right? The majority won. All right? And that's why this is so good, right? And this is why you are like, "Ow, they are melting!" Because it was a repudiation of all your garbage ideas, right? And all your ideas are garbage. Now, this is a death, like just the death knell for the Democrats. Like, they've got to completely reinvent themselves because identity politics is over. It's not working anymore. And believe me, by the time they get to the next election and there's some kind of election security bill like in play, then it's over. by the time we get to the next election, it's going to be a level playing field, which it hasn't been in decades, right? Who knows how long since there's been a level playing. It's going to be a level playing field, and the best person will win. So you've got to be the best person. I'm not saying that can't be a Democrat, but you've got to make yourself a best person. You've got to stop cheating, right? You've got to start working ways on how to game the system, right? It was a great night for the vast majority of people, right? A coalition came together of peoples of all different races, colors, creeds, religions that like fundamentally oppose each other, like the Orthodox Jews and the Amish, right? We were all voting together. Yeah, it was a wonderful night, right? A wonderful night for democracy.
Terrible night for women, for children, for the...
Why? Why for women? Again, why should why? No, it's not. You don't care about women. You care about not having control over women in some like thousands of miles away from you, which have a very different cultural standards. What's that different cultural standard? That you feel life is worthless, right? If there's no connection, if a woman has a baby and it has an abortion and it still stays alive, nah, kill it, let it die, whatever. Don't render aid because life's worthless. The thing will just be a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's how you view life, right? People in Alabama view life very differently. I'm not saying I agree with either of you, frankly. Right, but like you want to have power over women, right? All women.
Hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Illegal immigrants? Oh, what you mean? You're going to have to pay higher wages now to get your garden cleaned? Yes, that's right, Mr. and Jimmy Kimmel. You're going to have to pay an American to clean your garden. I gotta pay an American
for healthcare, for our climate, for science.
How science? Climate, healthcare. Okay. I don't know if he believes this stuff.
For journalism.
Oh, journalism is great. I hope he doesn't even have CNN in the press room. And if Carrie Lake doesn't win her senator run, let's have a quick look at how that's going. 1 second. I'll do election results. I mean, he should have her as his press secretary, right? Where is it? Doink. So they still haven't called Nevada or on the New York Times, those cunts. They still haven't called Nevada or Arizona. Are you kidding me? Trump had 3. Oh, man. Okay, Senate race. Let's see if I find Carrie Lake. Arizona, 69%. Why is it taking so long? And she's still steadily a good, 50,000 votes behind I really hope she pulls it out. They got 30% of the votes come in. Normally, these averages stay the same, like 58 to 40, and 50 to 48. They stay the same, right? And who's winning over here in Nevada? Same thing, right? Same thing. Still, like, why does it take so long, right? It's unbelievable. It's looking like the Republicans are going to... So, yeah, look, it's a blowout, mate. It's a blowout. So it was a great night for democracy.
For justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on...
Okay, you hate poor people, Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, man, nobody looks down at poor people more than you. Poor people turned around and told you to shut the fuck up. Poor people told you were wrong. You know, people say, well, what about the convictions? What about the conviction? Like, they think people just don't care. No, people don't think they're legitimate. That's why they don't care.
Social Security for our allies in Ukraine.
Ukraine. Oh, Ukraine. You couldn't even find it on a map. You can't.
No, for the truth and democracy and decency, and it was a terrible.
Oh wait, you mean you would rather you wanted Biden, right? Remember that guy who's clearly molested his children, right? Have you ever read Hunter Biden's Ashley Biden's diary? Actually, Hunter Biden as well, I guess. Have you seen these people? Yeah.
Night for everyone who voted against him, and guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him too. You just don't realize it yet.
Exactly. We can't be wrong. We're right and you're wrong. They can't be wrong. Oh, these people are like nauseous. They do. They make me nauseous. Yeah, more insanity. 1 second. So kids are shaving their heads for where is it? Shaver? Oh, I forgot. I got to download this one thing for you. This is crazy. Yeah, kids are literally shaving their heads for right? It's a TikTok thing. Ban TikTok. That's what I'm telling you. Ban TikTok. Oh, we got to look at that as well. Fucking nutballs. You're all fucking nutballs, right? Okay, so this woman, I class this as child abuse, right? This is really, I know. Just listen to this. It's the worst thing ever.
Harris did not win.
Who won?
Trump.
I mean, listen to your kids.
So I'm
take a breath.
Yep.
Like, what have you done to your kids? Listen to them cry, you weirdo. Firstly, if you wear glasses like that, yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to have children. Okay, that seems to be a first thing.
Different at school. Okay, there are probably going to be friends who have questions, right?
Is there anybody who's not a liberal white woman who's worried?
I'm sure your teachers are going to
indoctrinate you with weirdness.
I think, we currently are in a country where we get to choose, right? And
we chose, and we said you're wrong. We chose, and we said you were wrong.
People have different priorities. They have different values. Some people hear what he has to say, and they don't believe him. And some people hear what he has to say, and they believe him, and they agree with him. So today's...
Yeah, it's the thing. He hasn't said anything bad.
Probably, your school day is probably going to look pretty normal.
You're like, the only thing weird about your life is this. You nutball fuck-faced woman. What the fuck's wrong with you? Fuck nugget weirdo.
Okay, your teachers are going to do a really great job of...
They're going to be crying and sobbing into their rainbow flags.
If you have questions throughout the day or if you have big feelings...
Yeah, I have a question. Why are you such a fucked up weirdo? I have big feelings. Am I being annoyed that you're a fucked up weirdo?
Throughout the day...
Do you like these?
Are you sad?
I'm very sad.
And now you're crying.
Yeah. And it's all performative white women. Like every bit of it. It's all, but this one takes the biscuit as the the most completely insane.
Over for Kamala.
It's over for Kamala.
And all of you celebrating a Trump victory?
Yeah, here we are. It's not just a Trump victory. It's a victory over this evil machine, right? Or totalitarian machine.
Before the votes are even fully counted, may I remind you that a lot can change at the last minute.
It's over. She's conceded. She's lost. Yeah, right? 312 electoral votes. He won the popular vote. Like, let's see the popular vote count. President. 68 million and 90,000 against 72 million 700. It's a lot more. So he's up about 5 million. You're wrong. Wrong.
And even if we do fail to win the presidency for Kamala,
you failed.
After all the work I've done for white dudes for Kamala.
Dude, how is that not a surprise? Let me guess. Are you getting laid any from it? No, weirdly enough. I did it for that. I have good news.
Over the last few months, we will return in 2028.
No, you won't.
Kamala 2028 will be the greatest political comeback the world has ever seen. Not just America, but the world.
No, that's what's happening right now, right? It would rival Trump's if they spend the next 8 years surrounding them, trying to put them in jail, trying to kill them.
And I firmly believe that Kamala is still the best person.
I wouldn't trust your advice on fucking anything, darling.
In the whole of the United States to be the president of this country. If we band together now,
who
pull back?
Who's banding together with you? No one's like there's 7 of you. Who's banding together?
Dudes who went for Trump this time, by growing the White Dudes for Harris campaign.
God, this guy really drunk the Kool-Aid.
We can make a permanent change. We can put the MAGA crowd away once and for all.
And the MAGA crowd put you away once and for all. That's why you're crying.
I'm dispirited. I am dispirited by what has happened, but we can't just give up.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
We can't just stop now.
Yes, you can. You've lost. You were wrong. You failed.
It's so close. It was so...
No, it wasn't. Yeah, no, she lost.
So close. There's just so much hate in this country.
It comes from you, right? You're the hateful ones. Like, honestly, I like my Democrat neighbor. I got one neighbor as Democrat. Literally the most racist person I know.
So much hate and misinformation from Elon.
No, it's called truth, right? Here, you've got to understand this. Most people think what you look at is misinformation. How do we know? The election.
And this, we've got to fight back. We've got to fight back. Kamala 2028. We're coming back.
Yeah, okay. Run on 2028. You do it. You run on 2028, exactly the same kind of campaign. Do that. Oh, I'll do that. That would be fantastic, right? That would be freaking double dozy. Look, mate, the luck is on. We call it muzzle. The luck is on Trump's side. Even this, right? I wasn't even planning on showing this. This just happened before I came on. Where is it? Okay, it was you will. Come on. Oh, it also got Doctor Who magazine to look at as well. Where is it? Is that the View plugging back into? No. Oh, well. I won't do that today. There we go. Doink.
The team is going to try to make sure that sentencing never happens.
So he's supposed to be sentenced in New York for this bullshit. In like 2 weeks or something.
As we know, their usual strategy is always to just try to get things delayed. But here they're going to argue to the judge that the sentencing should never happen because now that Trump is president-elect, they will say that he is entitled to the same constitutional protections as a sitting president and should be protected from state actors, and in this case, state prosecutors. Now, the judge...
Now, just in case you don't know the details of this, he... I'm trying to sort of shrink it down as quickly as humanly possible. Essentially, they changed the law so they could put him on because when he borrowed when he borrowed money, they say he overvalued Mar-a-Lago, and he borrowed money to build something. Anyway, the evaluation wasn't overvalued. The people who were the victims said we weren't victims. Everything was fine. Everybody made money of it. They had to change the law to be able to convict him for it. And the only way they can convict him is if there was like an underlying crime, right? And they didn't know what the underlying crime was. And they said, if you just suspect one, it's fine. This thing was bullshit beyond bullshit, right?
Ever seen that case? Judge Juan Merchan, he's given himself a deadline of November 12th to decide if the conviction against Trump should be tossed. Based on the Supreme Court's recent ruling on immunity, if he tosses the conviction, there'll be no sentencing. But if that sentencing continues to go forward, this is the argument that the Trump team is going to make.
Well, he could go forward, and then, like, in a couple of weeks when he's president, he could destroy your fucking life, and he will. Oh God, I can't wait. Anyway, so this is one of the things that Trump's planning on doing, right? And I think this is why he won. This is why I think he's very, very, very good, right? I don't think he's honestly. I said I was walking the dog earlier. My neighbor was like, I'm 50-50 on them. I said, just because you read the bullshit media, right? The like we got this Times of Israel. It's a website, a news website. And of course, they're all leftists and they hate Trump. And their headline article was how Trump ignored the Jews when thanking minorities. I'm like, for fuck's sake, will you stop? Will you stop rabidly looking for something to hate about? Right, which is all this ever is. Anyway, this is the evil man they want to hate and one of his evil plans. Let's check out this evil plan.
Now, the United States will celebrate the biggest and most important milestone in our country's history. 250 years of American independence. What a great country. And we have to keep it that way. But that's why, as a nation, we should be preparing for a most spectacular birthday party.
Okay, this is the guy you want in charge of America's birthday, the 250th birthday party. No matter where you vote, this is the guy you want in charge.
We want to make it the best of all time. Here is my plan to give America's founding in 1776 the incredible anniversary it truly deserves. On day one, I will convene a White House task force called Salute to America 250. It will be responsible for coordinating with state and local governments to
sometimes are awful.
Ensure not just one day of celebration, but an entire year of festivities across the nation, starting on Memorial Day.
It's going to be huge.
2025 and continuing through July 4th, 2026. Second, I will work with all 50 governors, Republican and Democrat alike, to create the Great American State Fair, a unique one-year exhibition featuring pavilions from all 50 states. It'll be something. The Great American State Fair will showcase the glory of every state in the Union, promote pride in our history, and put forth innovative visions for America's future. My hope is that the amazing people...
I think it sounds incredibly cool.
People of Iowa will work with my administration to open up the legendary Iowa State Fairgrounds to host the Great American State Fair and welcome millions and millions of visitors from...
By the way, just so you know, they said it was on Saturday, right? A poll came out saying that Kamala Harris was 2 points ahead, 2 or 3 points ahead in Iowa. He won Iowa by, I think, 12 points or something like 6 points, something huge.
Around the world to the heartland of America for this special one-time festival. Together we will build it and they will come. Third, alongside the Great American State Fair, we will host major sporting contests for high school athletes. These are great athletes, wonderful athletes from fantastic...
And I guess there will only be women in the women's category now, right? There will be no women with penises.
Fantastic high schools all around the country. These Patriot Games will allow young Americans from every state to show off.
Again, I just think this is like is going to generate an upward patriotism and pride in one's country, and I think that's going to drive people forward to, you know, be good people, like be good productive people, which is what you want.
The best of American skills.
I tell you what, though, there's going to be a massive baby boom. Right, I think by 2025, by 2026, 2027, there's going to be a massive baby boom going on. Right, because that's what happens when you're an upwardly mobile nation again.
Skill, sportsmanship, and competitive spirit. Fourth, I will sign an executive order to bring back our National Garden of American Heroes, which we want to build very badly. Commission artists for the first 100 statues to populate this new statuary park honoring the greatest Americans of all time. Fifth, as president...
Again, he's just making tourist attractions. I want to go to all this shit.
President, I will invite the leaders and citizens of nations around the world.
Could you pay? If you pay me for my flight, I'll tell me. I want it.
To visit the United States in honor of our 250th anniversary.
Honestly, I would love to go to that. That sounds like an awesome, destination.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be huge.
This tourist industry should get ready because we're going to have a lot of people coming. It will be a record year. And finally, and most importantly, I will ask America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and our people as we prepare for this momentous occasion.
Honestly, I don't know. If you don't like him, you're saying, oh, it's just bullshit, he's just making up. I genuinely think this is a qualitatively different Trump, right? I think this is a different Trump than we had in 2016. I think the attempt in his life, I think he was becoming a much more spiritual person anyway. And I really do. I think that's the only way you get through the shit that was piled on top of him. It really is the only way you get through it. It's like if I strong belief in God, right? And I think God spared him. And I think, oh, by the way, I also think God spared him to do this, to make America great, to save America, and by doing so, save the Western world. So I'm hoping that he's going to bring up the holiness of the world, right? Which is essentially people being successful. I think it's going to bring up the holiness of the world to a point where there can be a messianic age. I think that's where we're going now, right? It seems that, like, I think by 2030, I can see a Messiah popping up and building a third temple, right? That would be huge, right? But again, I think we're entering into a golden age, right? I really genuinely think we're entering into a golden age. Right. But yeah, let's see what he's going to say.
From the very beginning, America has been...
Oh, yeah. So he mentioned God and prayer right here. And again, if you're not religious, it's fine. But I love that he's like so connected to that now, right? And he seems genuine to me.
Country sustained and strengthened by prayer and by our communities of faith. As we chart a course toward the next 250 years, let us come together and rededicate ourselves as one nation under God. Thank you.
Wow. Again, I think that was a very powerful message. One nation under God, right? And that's something that's been missing from America for years, right? He's bringing the God back. And again, you don't have to believe. It's a good thing even if you don't believe in God, right? And he wasn't saying any specific. He wasn't saying Christian. He wasn't saying Buddhist. He was saying communities of faith. That's why they hate him. Right, that's why they've always lied about him. When you get down to it, that's the reason. It's a hatred of Judeo-Christian values, which I think he very much embraces. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.